Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to more Geometry Dash. Today we are counting down the top 10 best easy extreme demons in Geometry Dash. These are levels that I've beaten and I thought I would share with you guys. I did a video like this like a year ago, pretty much exactly a year ago as well. Went through some of the best easy extreme demons to do if you were looking for your first ever extreme demon. And I thought I would remake the video now that I've beaten a lot more levels because I have a lot more things and a lot more levels to choose from and to pick with, because my one prerequisite for this was that I've beaten the level to begin with. And I back then hadn't beaten that many levels. Now I've beaten a lot more, so I'm going to be going through. I'm not going to be repeating any of them, and I'm not going to be doing any of the like basic ones. I'm not going to mention stuff like Acu, because Acu is a super popular level and everyone does it anyway. So I'm going to be choosing 10 easy extreme demons that I think are really cool that not necessarily everyone will choose. Some of them are very popular, and that's just kind of like how it goes. But I do think they deserve to be mentioned either way, because I don't really see a lot of people do them as like a first, second, or third extreme demon normally. So without further ado, here are the top 10 best easy extreme demons to do to get into extreme demons. To begin with, here we have Glisten. Glisten is a really cool level. I have nothing but good things to say about it. The thing about this level that makes it stand out, in my opinion, is that it utilizes a lot of like very open room. It's very open. As you can see, there's a lot of room to just like see where to go. And it's a little bit confusing. There's a little bit of memory to it, which some people might be turned off on, but I think it's a really cool level overall. It is very flashy, though, so keep in mind if you do have a little bit of a hard time looking at very bright images. But this level is very fun. It has a lot of good click sync. It's really satisfying to pull off. And I just think it's a cool visual level. It's a very fun experience. It has a few double clicks, so you can like try some more intriguing gameplay. And it's just fun. It has no ship, no wave. It's very 6 stars friendly. Highly recommend this if you want to try it as a 6 stars player as well. Next up is Make It Drop. This is a level that I initially said that I didn't actually like that much. Which, to be fair, I do still think that there are better levels out there. But this is a level that a lot of people really like. It's a very good introduction to flow gameplay, which is an incredibly popular genre of extreme demon gameplay. And it utilizes a lot of like very cool movements, which makes it look cool to play. Overall, I think this is a very fun level. It has some hard ship sections, such as this one, right before the drop, which could be a turn-off to some people. However, I still think that this is a level that it's worth playing. Even though you're not like the biggest fan of flow, I think this is a level that everyone should try, because it's a good way to like try and get into it. You kind of, if you want to get into extreme, you can't really like get away from flow gameplay altogether. So playing this one is a very good introduction to it. And it's not too brutal on the flow side of things, which makes it feel natural to play, even for old timers like myself who prefer straightforward gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. And this might just be a me thing, but I think the song is really cool, which makes it a lot more fun to play overall. And visually speaking, I think this is a fantastic level. I think just as a whole, this level is really sick. So 100% go try it out. And it has a very nerve-wracking ending. It's a level that kind of like tears a little bit at you once you get to the very end. And it's like the outro, because it's very slow and it requires a lot of control and nerve control, which I think is a good thing that everyone needs to practice. So go check it out. Make It Drop. Very good level. Highly recommend it if you want to try and get into this kind of stuff. But as you can see here, the ending here is very nerve-wracking. It's very easy to mess up. Especially getting into this last ship here. You're gonna see some very tight ship movements in the very last 10% of the level. Next up is Crowd Control. Crowd Control is the level that I call the best unknown extreme demon, if you've probably never heard of. And I stand by that. I don't really see anyone still talk about it. I never see anyone mention it. Whenever people ask me for recommendations for their first extreme, I often recommend this one because I genuinely think this is a fantastic level. It is very straightforward, very fun to play, very cool gameplay, and none of the things are like super difficult. The wave part is a little bit hard, but you just gotta get used to hard wave parts in extreme demons. That's just kind of how extreme demons are these days. The only thing that I will comment on is the fact that this little UFO section, that those 4 blue orbs in particular, are very hard. So you might have a little bit of trouble with that. I had trouble trying to get fast enough for it. Like clicking fast enough was really hard. But other than that, this level is great. It's very fun, very enjoyable. Highly recommend it. Easily one of my favorite extreme demons. So just check it out. Crowd Control. Fantastic level. Next up, we got Disruption. This is one of those levels that I want to recommend simply because of the fact that it challenges a specific kind of skill set. A lot of people, when they want to choose extremes, they want to choose levels that fit their extremes or their skill set within the game. And I think this one fits a particular niche. And that being like very fast, like wave burst. There's a lot of levels in the higher end of difficulty that uses this kind of gameplay, especially stuff like Berserk and Timor. So this is a level that if you like this kind of gameplay where it's like very simple, very slow, but then has like bursts of a really fast clicking, especially with Wave Moon, this is a really good one. I thought it was fun personally. There's like a bug here and there, but I think that's been patched up ever since I beat it. Highly recommend this one. Very good level, and it's just fun. Next up is a very lesser known level. This is Air Tech by Elevens and Gang. This is a very fun level. It's inspired by another easy extreme demon that I haven't beaten personally, but this is a really cool level. It's very straightforward. It's very fluid gameplay. It's genuinely very, very fun. The only thing about it that like might be a little bit of a turnoff for a lot of people is that it has some very hard, fast-paced wave parts. But this is a very good level just because it just flows really nicely and everything just kind of works. This is just a level that I just would recommend. If you want to get into extremes and you just want something unique to beat, this is a great one. I haven't really heard anyone think this level is bad. If anything, people have said this level is kind of like average at worst. But this is a very popular level within people who grind extremes because it's a fun one. It's enjoyable. There's nothing really bad about it. So if you want something unique as your first extreme, Air Tech is a great one. It has a little bit of a tricky duel towards the end, but, you know, can't have a perfect easy extreme in the sense that everything is easy. But this level is great. Highly recommend it. Go check it out if you haven't already. Next up is Napalm. Napalm is a level that I've said on many occasions that I'm not the biggest fan of. However, I recognize the fact that this isn't just objectively good level. This is a fantastic level with very fluid gameplay. It's just that if you like this style of particular gameplay, you're gonna love this level. The people that I know that really like this style of gameplay absolutely love this. It's one of their favorite, if not their favorite, extreme demon of all time. And if you like fast-paced gameplay with this style of flow, you're gonna absolutely love it. I thought it wasn't for me personally, but I recognize the fact that this level is incredible for the niche that it hits. And Marwec, amazing gameplay creator. He's one of the absolute best. So clearly this level is absolutely incredible. And the level does have its good moments. I think this corridor that's coming up here in the 60s is one of the coolest parts in like any level. It's very satisfying, and this level does have intentional swag routes, which gives you alternate endings, which is very cool, very, very fun. I like it. Yeah, no, Napalm, great. I see a lot of people absolutely adore this level, and I think it's really cool myself. But do be wary that it has some tricky things. But also, shoutouts to anyone who does this little swag route towards the end, where you go down here, fall down, go up, and then you get the little Super Meat Boy guy. Anyway, yeah, Napalm, great level. Next up is Dark Odyssey. I'm not going to be showing all of Dark Odyssey because this level is quite literally 6 minutes. However, I do believe that this is the perfect beginner extreme demon for people who like longer levels and people who have been in love with the travel level concept and beat a lot of stuff like Dream Travel and so on. The reason why I recommend this one over stuff like The Lost Existence is because this level is far more engaging and not as boring. The beginning is very, very fun. It's very, very satisfying. It has randomized movement, which makes it a lot more interesting overall, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a good level. I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's just a fun, engaging level. Jonathan really hit it out of the park with this one. I think this is like by far his best level, and for anyone who wants to do like very long levels and don't feel like they have like the skill to do like the shorter extremes, this is a very good one. I don't know how like easy it is, like roughly. It took me quite a while, but that's because it's a long level, so there's a lot to learn. But this level is super fun. It doesn't have too challenging gameplay. It has a couple things that are like hard, as it is with Jonathan level. The duels are like absolutely impossible, and it has an incredibly nerve-wracking ending, but it has the progression of Dark Travel, which is just, it gets harder and harder as you go. The beginning is easy and then it gets more and more difficult, especially towards the end here. But it's an incredibly satisfying level to pull off. It's a journey. It's an Odyssey, you could say. Haha, lol, XD, laugh. But no, this level is great. I highly recommend it. If you want to do a long level for your first extreme, this is the best one to go for, without question. There is no other XXL extreme that you can do for your first that is better than this. This is the absolute best one, for sure. Next up is Incipient. I needed to appease the older generation of GD players who are getting back into the game, because there's always a bunch of old people returning to the game trying to improve and get better at the game as they used to play when they were younger, and Incipient is an absolute masterpiece of a level. It is one of my absolute favorite extreme demons, especially on the beginner side, and this is a super fun level. My only issue with it is that the dual ball that we're going to come into a little bit later is a little bit jank. I had troubles figuring out, but this level is super fun with a lot of engaging gameplay, and it's just kind of like the rule with Jenkins levels is that they're just amazing. Jenkins does not make a bad level, and this is a very good example of that. This level has aged incredibly well, in my opinion, like especially gameplay-wise. This level has aged phenomenally. It is super fair, super fun, very well balanced, I would say. I don't think there's a single part in this that feels significantly harder than the rest, except for the ball duel, which is like, it's not harder, it's just a little bit more inconsistent, you could say. But that could also just be me struggling to figure it out. But no, this level altogether, absolutely phenomenal. Very good song, very fun, very engaging, and it's orange, which automatically makes it fantastic. And it has super fun drop gameplay. The drop starts very, very late into the level, so if that's kind of like your thing, this is a perfect one. But this level is, awesome. I love it. Highly recommend this. Next up is Retention. This is and has always been one of the most popular classic extreme demons from the olden days of Jump to Dash. So I wanted to include yet another classic here, and this is probably one of the best ones, if not the best one. Woogie, absolute masterclass in gameplay creation. We all know that. This is a very good level if you like duels and you think duels are the most enjoyable thing for you to play. Very fun level. It has some weird stuff, but that's just the nature of slopes in GD in general. Slopes just kind of like don't work half the time, but that's not the fault of the level, that is the fault of RobTop. And this level is super enjoyable. I've never had more fun learning duels in my entire life, and this one is sublime. Absolutely sublime. I highly recommend this one if you want to get into it. And a lot of people do think that this is borderline insane demon. I've seen a lot of people make the case that this is an insane demon, so this is a very easy one to get into. It's just a little bit learning, so it takes a few attempts, but don't be discouraged by the attempt count, because a level that like this, where it takes a long time to learn, is naturally going to eat up a lot more attempts. Learning levels take a lot longer. That's why stuff like Killbot takes a lot of attempts for people, is because learning it is the hard part. But this level, super satisfying, super fun, super enjoyable. Very 6 friendly as well. I've seen a lot of people beat this on low refresh rate. So yeah, go check it out. Fantastic level. Beat it if you want to. And last but finally not least, we have Sarthix. This is a very typical AeonAir quirky level, and it's a really cool one. I think this is a fantastic level that is really cool, very enjoyable. It has a lot of cool little gameplay quirks that makes this a very interesting play. I thought this one was very enjoyable. I thought it was very intriguing in a lot of ways, and it uses a lot of like very interesting UFO gameplay that you can kind of like mix and mash how you play it yourself, which I think is very cool. I like it when they do that. And overall, this is just a phenomenal level. I don't really have anything else to say other than that Sarthix is a cool level, and it has one of my favorite endings to a level in like ever. I think the ending to this level is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's super satisfying, and I don't really see anyone talk about this level. This is another one kind of like crowd control where I wish more people would talk about it because it's so cool. But yeah, no, this, if you want to get into like the quirky levels of GD, this is a phenomenal first one to do. Highly recommend it. Sarthix is super enjoyable, so yeah, go for it. This UFO at the end, by the way, one of the coolest UFO parts in like any level. I love this UFO part to death. This UFO part alone is enough for me to recommend it to people. Anyway, Sarthix, great level. Go play it. And that is it. This was an unscripted video, so I'm sorry if I like repeat myself a little bit, but I wanted to just go into this and like talk about the levels the way that I remember them and have them in my mind. Hopefully that is completely fine with you guys. Go check them out. Very, very solid levels all over. Even though I don't necessarily love all of them, I do recognize that they're really good for a specific type of person. So I wanted to make this video more catered towards specific niches, rather than be like, hey, you guys should beat Acu, and you guys should beat Cataclysm, and you guys should beat, you know, those levels. So I wanted to tailor this a little bit more towards a niche of player who wanted to beat a specific kind of level. So hopefully you guys found something that you enjoy. I'll see you guys around. Eat your green style. Stay hydrated. Thank you for making my day better. Hope my day is a little bit better too. And I will see you guys later. Peace out, everyone.